response to what you wanted during the week and the message you were trying to put out there in terms of how important it was for you?
Yeah, it was disappointing. We came over here with all intentions to obviously win the game and match their intensity. Second quarter we let ourselves down. I think we only had 6 tackles and they had 17 inside 50s, and their spread and outside run, we just couldn't keep up with them, which was disappointing because that's one of our strengths typically. Our boys kept trying, just made some fundamental errors at critical times and just not good enough on the day, which is really disappointing because it was a must-win game for us. We had a good week on the track. The boys were saying the right things, but didn't get it done. So yeah, very disappointing. Yeah, 5 and 7 makes it hard. Makes it really difficult from here. We've almost got to go through undefeated for our final 10 games. It's not impossible. We'll need to be at our best. We've got 2 weeks now to prepare ourselves for the Suns away, which will obviously be a tough game as well. So we'll just go back and review where we're at. Our form was okay until the last 2 weeks, and then we've put in really 2 poor performances. So we'll find out the reasons why and make some adjustments to the team. Try and reinvent how we play. We thought we damaged our brand pretty badly last week and didn't really make amends today.
Brenton, you must have been disappointed with the disposal. There was 30 clanging kicks, which stats guys tell me is the most ever by Crows team.
Yep.
A lot of them directly to the opposition.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Our kicking was poor when it mattered, and when you need poise and you need to have really clear heads and people that are able to make good decisions. We just rushed it. We made, like I said, fundamental skill errors at critical times in the game. Missed set shots which we should kick. Just didn't have the poise to be able to use the ball just almost just get one more handball in before we kicked, or just lower your vision and hit a short one. But we just bombed it away. Richmond kept sending numbers behind the ball. We kept sending numbers around to try and man them up, but every time they had 7 defenders and they went 8 defenders, and yeah, we weren't able to make it an even number contest, unfortunately. Yeah, we talked about it a lot in the coach's box. He's such a smart player. The way he sets up behind the ball, they kept using him. We kept trying to send players to him, and that would free up Hooley. So, I mean, they were the 2 players we were most concerned about. Of course, and Newman, when Newman plays across half-back and attracts the footy. But, yeah, Deludio, Hooley had too much footy across our half-back line. We kept sending a forward up to our stoppages to try and win clearances, but looks like that might have been a mistake. Every time we won a clearance, we kicked it forward to their numbers and they were able to mop it up. But VB did a pretty good job, after half-time. He limited Deludio's influence after half-time, but then, more Richmond players bobbed up. Martin was pretty important for him through the midfield as well, and they got a pretty even output from their entire group. We probably left it to too few, which is not how we should be playing.
Do you feel like your forward line is still this Jekyll and Hyde thing as you're trying to move on from Tex, but also, was that the plan to push everyone so far up the ground? Because it seemed like at times of going back, they didn't have options to hold the ball up and play on.
Yeah, we looked a bit stale today with the way we moved the footy. When the rain came at the start, it shouldn't affect how you attack, but we looked like we just bailed out too much and we didn't trust to kick it to our forwards. They didn't have their best days up there either. We didn't give them the best opportunities. As we said, the kicking was poor most of the game, but we need better output from across the whole team, not just our forward line. We're leaving it to 2 young kids, McKernan and Jenkins. They're fighting as hard as they can as our 2 key forwards. They're very inexperienced. They're still learning the game. They're trying their hardest, but we probably need to look at ways in this second half of the year that we can keep looking for options forward.
How significant was the Bernie Vince free kick against, did you feel, in the context of the game?
Yeah, that was a mistake that he shouldn't have made. We're having a set shot for goal, 30 metres out, straight in front. The umpire turns it over. We're 20 points down or something, but it's not the reason we lost the game. They beat us across all areas. One of our worst tackling days again. I say that every press conference. We just can't seem to be able to tackle. Our aggression's not where it should be. We just can't nail them. So it's a really disappointing day for us.
This question's for both of you. There's been a bit of discussion in the media that Patrick Dangerfield is possibly the best player on the
Oh yeah, we need better output from our entire squad. You know, we leave a lot to Dangerfield. I think he kicked 2 goals 4 or 2 goals 5 today. Tracked plenty of the ball through the midfield. He's one of a kind. He's a freak of the competition. You know, I'm very thankful that he plays for us, but yeah, we're probably leaving too much to him. You know, he left everything out there today. He tried as hard as he could. We just need a few more contributors. You know, we're leaving it to too few. We're not getting enough winners on the day.
So, from your point of view, what can the players do over the line to get things back on track and rediscover their own individual form?
Yeah, it's a good question, and we need the guys to freshen up now, and the coach has already touched on our next game on the Gold Coast. You know, they're up and about and playing some good football themselves, so we need to freshen up and keep the demand and feedback on each other to improve in a lot of areas, and you know, hopefully get our season back on track. 5 and 7 now is a tough ask, but I still think we've got the belief within the group to get ourselves up and going again.
So it's difficult for the players to adjust. Like you obviously had 2 dominant forwards last year with Walker, and then he just walked on his own. It's difficult to adjust to something having a more experienced forward line that you've got to probably put more work into up the ground.
Well, Brenton's already touched on the fact we've got Jenkins and McKernan who are really inexperienced as key forwards, but at the end of the day, there is no Tippett, there's no Walker, so we can't keep complaining about that. It's not the reason we're losing games. There's a lot of factors where we're just not good enough at the moment. We need to improve a number of areas to get ourselves heading in the right direction again. So I'm sick of talking about it, the club's sick of talking about it. You know, we're not going to beat around the bush, they're not playing, and we need to get better.
It's part of that intensity as well. Like I remember last year when we played Carlton, the intensity was just amazing there at our stadium. Whereas it didn't quite seem as good as that this time around.
Oh, probably yes and no. You know, we keep touching on missed tackles, and that's a reason why the ball's going back the other way. If we're missing tackles, they're playing the game in their forward half. And even today, I think at half-time, the numbers were close to 40 inside 50s for them. And if we're allowing that, it's a tough ask winning the game when we're playing the game in their half.
What are you doing with the players over the break, Brenton? Are you going to send them away and give them
Yeah, they've got the review on Monday. They'll have Tuesday, Wednesday off. Come back in and train Thursday, Friday. Have Saturday, Sunday off. Then we're back in, obviously playing the Gold Coast. So a typical week leading up to playing the Suns up there. So it'll be a day back for the club, recovery, review, a couple of days off, a couple of hard days training, weekend off, and then back into it. So certainly no holidays for us. We're not in a position to be taking the foot off the throat. We'll allow the players to freshen up mentally and physically, but we'll certainly put in a really hard training block for them as well.
You face that challenge, you know, psyching the boys up every game becomes all you have to win.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's where we need to get to. You know, we really built this game up though internally. We weren't coming over here to hopefully play well. You know, this was a game that we were really building up internally to ensure that we got a much better effort than what we saw today. You know, our guys are trying their hardest. That's not an issue. We just can't sustain the pressure that's required for 120 minutes. You know, we're not pressuring sides for long enough in the contest, and we're getting some pretty important lessons. We're finding out a lot about our team at the moment. There's 10 games to go. We've got to make sure that we get something out of our next opponent. You know, we've got to go up to the Suns and make sure we get it done.
Brenton, how close was Graham John Cocker playing today? 6 goals last week with Sandball, and then especially with an inexperienced forward.
Yeah, he'll be right in the mix. You know, he's getting his body back to a level as a 30-year-old where he can play at this intensity for 120 minutes, and he's almost there. You know, he wasn't in shape early in the season to be able to do that, but you know, he's starting to get back. You know, he's training really hard. He's kicking goals in SANFL. His game last week was really good. He obviously plays today or tomorrow, and yeah, he's going to become a really important player for us in the second half of the year, I think.
Yeah, because there are a few media suggestions to the fact that he didn't play today is almost like an indication that his car's right, but he's almost starting to seem to play, but that doesn't sound like.
No, certainly not. You know, Graham's he's been a legend of our footy club. He's been our best small defender over the 21 years or 22 years of the club's history. We probably see him more as a small forward, opportunist forward now. We're putting games into Brown and Laird and Smith in defence now. So I think Graham's got a role to play for us in the second half of the year, and I'm sure when he comes back he'll give us a bit of that experience that we're sort of lacking at the moment. But he's just got to get his body to a position where he can sustain 120 minutes of footy. Thanks, guys.
No injuries.